Hey there, Trisha here. I've actually had family in town, so I have not been trading, but I did want to go over a couple of things from yesterday and today to give you an idea of how strong indicators can be. So with that said, this is the tick from yesterday, Wednesday, and the line in the middle is the zero line, and anytime you have majority of your price action above that zero line, it's going to be easier to take longs, and the opposite is true. Is if majority of your tick action is below that zero line, it's going to be easier to take shorts. So just something to consider when you are taking your trades. Also, the indicator at the bottom of the screen is my trending indicator, and I always have to have my trending indicator reading over 20 for me to take either a long or a short. This trending indicator does not tell you which way the trend is going to go. It just tells you if the price is trending. And you can see on yesterday's chart, majority of yesterday was spent above the 20 mark, which is that horizontal line at the bottom there. So for just a very short time was spent out actually below that 20 line. So that's a good indication that you're going to get some nice moves. This was a scalp setup that set up yesterday, and it was a nice scalp setup. All the indicators were in line on all of three charts: the longer tick chart, the smaller minute chart, all the indicators, and also the smaller tick chart. So that was a scalp trade that definitely could have worked. Here's another scalp trade from yesterday that that worked out very well as well. Anytime you do have your trending indicator trending over that 20 mark, you have a higher odds of the move actually continuing a little bit longer than if it wasn't above that 20 mark, or if the ticks were back and forth above and below that zero line. So anytime you're having majority of your ticks above the zero line and your indicator is showing trending, you're going to have a stronger move in the market in the way of the price going in the direction that you intended it. So this scalp setup worked out nicely. Another scalp trade that set up yesterday as well. Again, all the indicators were clearly showing that you could take this long, and the indicator for the trend was strong. Obviously, I showed you that already. For almost the whole day, it was strong, and the tick was strong. So again, another decent trade would have worked out for a scalp yesterday as well. This is the tick chart for today, and you can see the difference where our ticks are above and below that zero line, so you're not getting really any decisive move in either direction. Yeah, there were a couple times today where you did have a directional move, but nothing really set up, because I'll show you right here. You can see our trending indicator here. We only have 3 very short periods of time where our trending indicator was showing that we were trending. Not saying that you couldn't take scalps or any other kind of setup without that trending indicator, but that's what I use as one of my criteria for entering either a long or a short. It just is higher odds of the move continuing. If you don't typically use a trending indicator, then you're going to want to get in and out of your trades a lot faster. And the same when the tick isn't very decisive in being over or below that zero line. Usually on days like that, you're going to want to take your profits a little bit quicker. This is a setup that occurred today on the longer tick chart, and it worked out very nicely. At this point in time, actually the trending indicator was trending, so this one would have worked out fine. This is not a scalp trade, so you would not have to have the bottom indicator showing setting up, because that's only for a scalp trade. So this would have been a nice trade, and I believe there was one other one that was a scalp trade that worked out very nicely as well today. There wasn't a whole lot today that I probably would have taken. There were a couple scalps that set up that you could have got your +2, and you probably would have wanted to get right back out. Using the criteria that I use, it's going to keep you out of a lot of trades, but it's also going to keep you out of trouble. When the scalp setup indicator sets up, if all the other charts are not in alignment, you're going to find that, like for example, if it sets up, let's say as a long scalp, but the other indicators and the other charts are saying short, obviously it's going to keep you out. And that works out really well for the scalp indicator, because you're not just jumping in something just because the scalp indicator says, to go ahead and jump in. So it really does keep you out of trouble. Today was in a very tight range, meaning it was in yesterday's range. So it really wasn't a trending day at all. All the price action was, pretty much confined as to the same as what yesterday's price action was. So hopefully tomorrow will be a more trending day, and I plan on trading again tomorrow. So I will hopefully talk to you guys tomorrow.